All right. All right, warm up your swing a little bit. Before we get too far down the road, okay, good.
And I would go back to this to try to remember this.
Got you.
Without being floppy.
Got you. Okay, yeah. So the.
One thing that did work for me.
Yes.
That it wasn't all the time, of course. But the little chip thing.
Okay.
I did that.
The weed whacker, yeah.
The weed whacker. I did that several times, and they were the prettiest chip shots.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm trying to remember what was it? Just no.
Okay.
Was that it? No.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. So the success of all of that is in fundamental number one when you're moving the club first. So, okay, as you, make some golf swings for me. See what you're bringing together. Okay. So in the two lessons we've had so far, what concept has rung the loudest to you so far? What information are you compiling at this point?
Club lead.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that one of the places to get the power is right here.
Good.
But to not that 100, don't break it up 60-40, don't decide you're gonna also
great.
Put it into the body.
Exactly.
What are some of the other things that go through my head? Those are probably. I still try to focus on my grip.
Okay, good.
Making sure I don't have it too. I don't know what you call it.
In the palm.
Yeah.
Out in the fingers and the. There you go. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Trying to make sure I actually take a backswing and don't stop myself.
Okay.
I still sometimes feel like I stop it short.
On the backswing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's really good, Sue. So I think what we want to do is take all of that and wrap it back up to the top of what we learned.
Okay.
So now that you know all of that, you can see all of that is present in just the idea that we're going to take the club in our arms, make a basic double pendulum swinging motion, and whack it from the top. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in that, you're getting the club head leading. The hands and arms are doing that. You're getting fire from the top. You don't need like you said, the 100 sum principle. You're moving the club so effectively. It's actually going to help the proper travel of the club head in the backswing, because you might be stopping short because we're not putting enough double pendulum into the backswing, getting the club head to travel. So my arms could be at that position or in the same position with different loading of the club head, right? So I think, and I like that you remembered the grip. The grip is something that people's hands are very sensitive. We use them all the time. So you're gonna want to keep reminding yourself of the grip first thing for a while. Eventually, you'll kind of grip it that way. Honestly, if you look at pros, they still check their grip, all the time. So I think that's. So I want you to now take everything that you just said, which is beautiful. That's great. And it's really, how can you just really tap into? I'm just standing here making a double pendulum and whacking it from the top. And then from there, we'll see any hurdles that might be present that would still prevent you from having a lot of success with what we're doing, and we'll plug it right out. Good grip, I like it. Double pendulum. There. Good. There you go. Whack it from the top. Good job, Sue. That's awesome. Good. Okay. Good. Go ahead and hit one or two.
These ones are.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Green light.
Green light. Okay, so
Okay.
main point here is keep your mind in the club.
Okay.
Double pendulum and whack it from the top. Script that to yourself in real time as you're going for it. Okay?
Ooh, that was ugly.
That's all right. There you go. Okay. Repeat the script again. Okay, good.
Careful.
I know. All right, that was good. Do one more. Repeat the script again. I want you to really communicate the phrase "whack it from the top" loud.
Okay.
Double pendulum and just whack it from the top. See what that means. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So, that's very good. We just got the hurdles going on. Okay, so we gotta figure it out.
I didn't do this badly golfing.
You didn't. Good. Okay, good. Good.
But this was really pretty prime.
Yeah. So what will happen is, so you're making pretty nice motion. You're making pretty nice motion, and the old ideas that are contrary to what the motion wants you to do are also present. And so they're hitting each other at the ball. And it's causing some very weird things to happen. Which is what happens pretty inevitably in any golfer that's been playing for some time.
So what are you seeing that I'm doing?
So there's a couple old ideas that are just not helping you, which is one is the tendency to want to keep the face straight to control the shot. Okay. So that's a big one. And we've talked about some of them before, not all of these. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're making a double pendulum because you're side addressed, look what the club face does. It just kind of goes. So on the second one that you hit, you didn't do it as much. The other two, you did it quite a bit. You're kind of making a nice motion. You're coming to the ball, and then right about here, which is beyond your conscious awareness, somewhere in the back of your mind, it goes, "Foop."
Okay.
Let me keep this thing straight.
Okay.
And so it just ejects the swing. And that's why we were working on the weed whacker primarily. Because it gave you a container to practice putting the face on the ball and just letting it's not like you're twisting it, but if you just move
you let it do its
you let it do its thing.
Okay.
So that's number one, which is also why I'm always telling golfers about how you want to learn to pursue distance over accuracy. Because if you pursue accuracy, it's going to tell you keeping the face straight is super important. If you pursue distance, you're going to try to put speed into the club head, and you're going to let the club head go. There you go. You feel how your right hand turns over your left hand through impact?
Yes.
When you do that? Yes. Good.
Okay, so going back to weed whacker is...
Well, so the weed whacker is a good way to practice this, but don't ever lose sight of the concept. The concept is what's going to actually is more important than the weed whacker. The weed whacker is a container to explore the concept. So the word concept is a compound word. It literally means sept means something that you seize and to take, and con means with. So a concept is something that you pick up and you take with you. You can put in your pocket and carry it around with you. So that's why I'm always getting golfers to really swing conceptually, because you can take a concept with you onto the golf course. If the golf swing becomes a weed whacker is a great container to practice the concepts, but it's not applicable to every shot. Right? You're not going to do the little weed whacker motion when you're hitting, you know? Right. But if the concept is, so what's the concept here? The concept is we're playing golf at side address, and accuracy comes from actually having a passive body. That's where accuracy comes from. Accuracy comes from having an active club and a passive body. And when we activate the club, we want to allow for it to do its thing. That's the concept. So then you might go onto the practice tee and hit some weed whackers, and just be like, okay, cool, I got that. I feel what happens. You can even intentionally disturb the weed whacker, and you'll see a dart over there, and it's kind of cool. It actually gives you kind of power over the thing that you don't want to do. You see what I mean? Because then you're like, oh, okay, it was no accident.
Yeah.
I did that. Yeah. Right? Exactly. And then you can do the other thing. Okay. So that's the one main hurdle. Go ahead and make a couple more golf swings now and hit a couple balls and see if you can go back into the script, double pendulum on the backswing, whack it from the top, and really buy into the concept of letting this face be free. And a couple things are going to happen. either you're going to do it great, or if the hurdle presents itself again, you're going to really notice it this time.
Okay.
And that's going to be a good moment. Because then you're like, oh, wow, that's what that was all about. There you go. Good. There you go. And there's our golf shot. That was a beautiful 9-iron. The whole play, as they say. Nice job, Stu. Freaking awesome. Those two were like identical.
And very different from those.
Very different, right? So this is good. So it tells you a couple of things. The framework of your swing was already in place. It's all we had to do was pluck out that hurdle again. And it's not unreasonable that we need to pluck out the hurdle 1 or 2 times to trim all the weeds. Job, Sue. Okay. Yes. There you go. Good. Good. So that's all it is. We just needed that. Good deal. Really good. Nice. Okay. Yeah. That was awesome. It's like a 75-yard 9-iron, freaking right at the pin. That's right.
Okay.
It's totally good. Okay. So that's all right. So on that one, I'm glad you did that. So all that happened on that one, after I drew your attention to the result, you didn't recapture the script and the thoughts that were leading to the 3 or 4 swings prior that were so great, which technically is my fault, but it's good that it happened that way, because that's what's going to happen on the golf course. You know, you're going to get talking to your friend, you're going to have a good hole, someone's going to do something, and the consistency is always going to be in you. Okay, now it's my turn to hit, and what is the shot got to be about? You never relying on the old adage of muscle memory.
Yeah, it's not there.
It doesn't. It's kind of illusory, to be honest. It doesn't really exist.
Well, those bad habits sure come easily.
They do. Just go. I like you just swinging, making a double pendulum swing, hitting it hard and letting it go. Because all of the fundamentals are slightly granular from the macro concepts. The macro concepts are slightly granular from just the whole paradigm of the golf swing, which is that it's a double pendulum. Good. There you go. You just kind of whack it, and then you kind of let the club do its thing. That was very good.
Wasn't it way up to the right?
Not way, no.
Oh, no.
No. I mean, it was a little bit of a push, but not too bad.
What is it I want to say? Let it kind of roll over? What is it? Instead of the...
That's to me, that's like a guiding it.
Yeah.
Guiding it. You got. That's how I say let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Nice. Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Okay. Very good. Good. Good, 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 good. All right. Okay. Take a quick pause there. So that was a great series of shots, all in all. Once we plucked out that hurdle.
Okay.
Pretty good. Different, right? It's kind of funny when you start hitting the ball well, you stop looking at the at the ball flying.
Yeah.
But you like to do that when it goes
Yeah.
off. You notice it when it goes off.
Yeah.
Right, but you,
Grab my water.
that's pretty funny. So I want to stay in the real big picture framework. The only fundamental that we haven't explicitly talked about is rhythm and the time domains, but for you, talking about that would be like that would be like an intellectual conjecture. It's not what's going to move the needle in your golf game today.
Okay.
And because your rhythms and your tempo is fine. It's actually really good. One day we can talk about that to make you a little more consciously competent about that when the time is right. But we don't need to tell that story today. I like where we're at right now. So I want to keep plucking, keep creating more efficacy around what it is that you're trying to do, and stay really big picture with the golf swing. Because you've retained everything that we've learned. You said everything perfectly. So that's great. So we planted the new seeds. The seeds have to grow within the context of the garden. So a couple more ideas that are making this a little more challenging to you, a little harder to buy into the fact that power comes from the hands and the arms. One is, and we don't know exactly where these things come from. Maybe you know. If you don't know, it's not a problem. But these things, they, as I say, they come through the wire. You just hear it from somebody or somebody else, and the message gets corroborated enough, and then all of a sudden, it becomes an idea. That's how things work. So one of them is straight arms. To me, it's not explicitly a hurdle. It kind of is, though. I mean, I could probably get more than 3 hurdles, honestly. So why is straight arms a problem? Straight arms is a problem because tension is the enemy. Tension blocks speed. Tension blocks, we want to let it go. Tension blocks that. Tension and movement and motion, golf is made for motion. It's a pendulum swing. It's just so much contrarian energy when we have tension. So it's really also very, very, very freaking hard. Way harder to make a double pendulum motion when our arms are locked. All you have now is the wrist joint. And the wrist joint is stressed because the elbow joint is stressed. So now it's worth explaining a little bit in this. Where does straight arms come from? Okay? Because it comes from somewhere. And where it comes from is not completely out of left field, but it's still not the truth. Okay? So just take me for example in this. If I set up with slightly more bent arms than maybe the average. But if I'm setting up to a golf ball and I'm standing there, if you just looked at me at a glance, like you weren't looking at me too seriously, just say you're just passing me on the driving range and you saw some guy hitting balls, you wouldn't say my arms were collapsed. You would probably be like, oh, these arms look kind of regular or whatever,
Yeah.
But they're not, and they're just hanging there. My arms naturally hang sort of bent, which is why my elbows are more bent at address. Some people's arms, because I don't know their ligaments or whatever, some people's arms hang a little straighter. That's cool. We don't want to be about the pictures. I'm always saying lose the pictures, and that applies. So how your arms hang is how your arms hang. That's cool. I am not going to force my arms a little straighter than what they need to be because I'm just abiding by tension as the enemy. I get to the top of my backswing. I've hurt the shoulder a whole bunch, and if you notice the top of my backswing, my left arm is not perfectly straight. That would be a perfectly straight left arm. Do you see a perfectly straight left arm in some golfers? Yeah. Professional golfers, right? They're usually they're on the outlier end of the spectrum. They kind of tend to be in the freak athlete category of things. It's definitely not necessary. So, but the arm gets straight-ish. It gets straight-ish. The left arm does on the backswing. On the through swing, it's the opposite.
Okay.
The arms are never both of them are not totally ever straight. So, what causes all of that? It's the club. So if we're not swinging the club head leading, say we're swinging the grip, it's going to collapse the arms. If we get the mass moving around the grip in a double pendulum-like way, it actually will be the thing that causes the arm to go into a little bit of width. And then you release it, the arms straighten a little bit at the ball because they're relaxed, and now you got the weight swinging down this way, so the arms get a little straighter. You've put a lot more speed into your downswing than you did your backswing, presumably. So as you let it go, the mass is flinging your arms through. The arms are going to straighten a little bit at this point, and then the mass keeps coming up, and then as you notice on every golfer, including yourself, the arms always end up bent. Can you coordinate that consciously through the motion? No. No one can. So that is it's an impossible mental exercise and totally unnecessary. All of these positions get created dynamically, and I think the third macro concept that I talk about, golf is a dynamic swing that's made for motion. It's this feedback loop. It's so broad. It's such a wide net, what I'm saying there, that it can get overlooked. But that's what we're talking about here. That's why I'm always saying lose the pictures. It all wraps up back into that concept. So as you create this dynamic double pendulum, and you're trying to remove all the tension. And I say tension as the enemy, not as it's catchy, admittedly, right? But it's a powerful word. If I don't like somebody, I'm not going to call them my enemy necessarily. I might be like, I don't really care for them so much. Somebody did something that hurt my feelings. They're not my enemy. I might still say hi to them if I see them. You know what I mean, right? Your enemy is something that you're like, I don't want nothing to do with this. right? And so that's how we want to treat tension. 3 enemies: tension, confusion, and distraction. But tension is the big one that comes into the motion of golf. So we can relax these arms, knowing that they're going to straighten and bend throughout the swing as they will. And all that is caused simply by you repeating the script that you already are armed with, which is the double pendulum script. If you're just creating double pendulum and your arms are soft, they're going to do whatever they need to do.
When I address the ball, my arms are very stiff.
Very stiff and straight.
Very stiff.
Exactly. So, and you might remember where you got that idea from. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the idea came from somewhere. You didn't invent it. It's common. I mean, almost everybody thinks that, right? We've all heard that somewhere along the road, right? You probably, most likely, well, you'll tell me, but most likely you don't remember exactly where you heard that first because it's so common.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So we can let that one go. We can let that one go. Okay. So I want you to just come back up here now and explore the golf swing again. Go back into the same big picture script, double pendulum, whack it and let it go. Nothing too complicated, because you don't need to repeat all the fundamentals to yourself every time. Now that you understand those, you can wrap them up in the context of something more holistic. Like, okay, I'm gonna, double pendulum. You could say I'm gonna create an angle to hit with the angle, create the angle, hit with the angle, let the angle go. You can get a little creative with it. As long as you're always speaking positively to yourself. You can't ever tell yourself positively means you can't use the word don't or not. That's that will not work. So see what you can do here to dress. Letting my phrase is let the gas out of your elbows. Just it's not about keeping them bent. Just let the gas out. That's great already. Perfect.
Instead of this.
Yeah. It's going to be more comfortable. Now see if you can create a little bit more speed. And see if you can let it go easier. And see if you can let that relaxation of the elbows go through your whole body. Your feet have pressure into the ground because you're standing on it, and your hands have some pressure on the golf grip because you're holding it. It's not tension, it's pressure. So those are the two places you're stabilizing the fulcrums. Good call. Good call. Nice. There you go. So you can create even more speed out of the club head with the whacking it. There you go. Okay, good. Let's hit a couple golf balls. Let's see where this goes. So, pretty much same script as the last round of shots. All we're doing is, yes, removing the tension. But tap back into the script. Double pendulum, whack it from the top, and let it go. Good.
quiet is a habit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good. Nice. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, one more.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Good. We're gonna continue our story here. So need need a shaft that is like this, but just a little shorter would be good. That's not bad. I think we can work it. Okay. Once you come up here in just a second, and first principle. So stability at absolute maximums. So everything that you want to pursue in the golf swing, that all these good concepts that are moving us into the space we want to be in, we can't get enough of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Tension is the enemy. How much tension do we want to remove? All the tension. Club head's leading. How much do we want the club head leading? Maximum possible extent. And fire from the top. You know, do we want the fire from the top to occur at 7 milliseconds in the downswing? No, 0.0. Is 7 milliseconds going to kill you on a shot? Probably not. You know, if it gets too delayed, sure. You know, so there's a gradient to all these things. You're going to improve the closer you get to the fullest embodiment of these things. But really, once you learn these concepts and fundamentals, the first principle is your roadmap to kind of whatever level of golf that you want. Ever since I learned about the basic pendulum stuff, I've just been applying the first principle to the same 3 fundamentals I teach everybody else, just like everybody else does. Just creatively finding ways to continue to embody them to their maximum possible extent. In our case, I'd like you to just see if we can create more, now that we have some more room to run with some tension. I'd like you to create a little more double pendulum action. Okay, so you could kind of create a double pendulum action, or you could, see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Create a little more double pendulum action. It was tougher for you to do that prior because of the tension in the arms, and the more double pendulum action you create in your swing, the more that would have competed with keeping the face straight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable why you would be not maxing out your double pendulum. Now that we've addressed those things, I'd like you to do that and experiment with this shaft. You just kind of come up here and swing it. And you're going to be able to make a noise with it. Single pendulum. See what we're getting after there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perfect. There you go. Nice job. Pay attention to what you're doing in your backswing there. That's perfect. You feel how you're setting the club? Look at that.
Is
Yeah,
that good?
that's fantastic. It's fantastic. That was good. It did. It was very good. That's okay. So don't worry about it coming. The club doesn't need to come around to the left.
Okay.
Now that you don't have a club face on it, you're not even going to see that. The club face needs to be free to. The club face needs to be free to release, but the club eventually is going to arc around you. But you're not in a hurry to
Okay.
move
Okay.
the club over here.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It actually kind of stayed out in front of it a
Okay.
little longer. There you go. Yes. Ornaments. Perfect. Okay. Very good. Now let's go ahead and another round of balls. So it's the same script again. Double pendulum, whack it from the top, let it go. And all we're doing is creating a little bit more double pendulums based on what you just learned and experienced. Make a practice swing with that club just to get it adapted a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Read the script again. Really, really just go for it. Even if something weird happens, all that means is you did something different. Nice. Make a practice swing. Try to create a double pendulum and really swoosh this club through the air.
Am I not?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not. I'm not. You are. You're doing great. You're doing great. There's one more thing that could be really holding it back a little bit, and we're not in a hurry to get from point A to point B. It's an adaptive process. So
with my, feels like my address is changing. Am I closer to the ball?
you did that on your own. Yeah.
Is that normal, or am
It seems
just let
intuitive.
it do whatever?
Yeah, you're recalibrating. You're recalibrating. So I'm kind of watching you. I notice all those things too. I'm letting you kind of recalibrate the system. As you recalibrate the system, the reason I'm cueing you in that way is I'm just trying to drive the input so that as the system recalibrates, it knows what it needs to recalibrate around. I want your system recalibrating around you hitting this ball hard and trying to whack it. Like what happened before, if you catch a screwball in here, it's just going to illuminate something else we got to pluck out. So even that's productive. big old double pendulum. Create the angle. Create the angle and the speed. Nice. Awesome. There you go. Good deal.
Too much, huh?
Yeah. It was wild.
What are you learning over there, kitty cat?
Yeah, he could probably give a great golf lesson.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Just hit one more for me. Then we'll, Good job. Good job. Okay. All those are great, Sue. So, let's make a couple practice swings. Really go through the script. Double pendulum, create a lot of speed, and let it go. There you go. Beautiful swing. See how the club just interacted with the mat, and there was no, you're like, wow, how did it even do that? You know,
Right.
you were just focused on what you had to do, and it just did that. Nice job. Create the script again. One more time. One more time, then we're going to swap places again. Sweet. Good. Okay. So, swap places. Maybe even might even go back into the other room. I'm just gonna pull a chair in here. I'm gonna pull one of my stools in. We're gonna talk. The next hurdle is so you're doing great. So if you were taking that swing onto the golf course, you'd had a much different experience. Like you can play really good golf doing what you're doing right now. Everything you're doing applies to the driver, but you still got a lot of potential in the bag that we can unlock. About 20 more yards with even just that 9-iron is in you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at least.
Just can't
And without
figure it out.
yeah, well, I know what it is. So in a golf cart, now in the electronic carts we have speed governors. You know, you're driving down a hill, it starts getting too fast, it starts to slow itself down. Okay, there's an idea that's a governor on your golf swing,
Mhm.
and so. As we keep pushing the envelope on ways that you're creating more speed, which is getting more of a double pendulum, hitting it from the top, letting it go, losing the tension, all those things are going to create more speed in your golf swing. And they're producing better shots. The full manifestation of these things is being limited by this governor. And the governor is a really, really simple idea, but this is my least favorite one to talk about, because I have to deliver this one really carefully, more carefully than all the others. Even though it's nothing complicated. It's something that we've heard a million times, which is also part of the problem. Remember when we were talking about keep your eye on the ball? This is not what we're talking about. It's kind of derivative of keep your eye on the ball, though. Okay? And then that's why I chose to draw your awareness for a second about how the club just interacted with the mat splendidly, and
right.
you weren't thinking about it, you weren't going for it, you weren't not going for it. It just did that. Okay, so, and you've never seen the ball leave the club face. Now, what after the ball gets hit? What is the next most important thing that could happen? Is it important to see where the ball goes in the air so that you can find it and hit it again? It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty basic, yeah.
Okay. At the end of a professional golfer's swing, anybody you've ever seen on TV, you say, you've seen a pose, like you're in a golf restaurant or something, you see the famous pose. Where are they? You're there. Okay. Do you know where I'm going with this one? No? Okay. The famous phrase, keep your head down. Is have I pulled on the thread enough for the knot to start to unravel on it? I don't want to say too much about it, to be honest, but so think about it. How could keep your head down be a reality if we end up here?
Well, at the point of impact, I mean, you can't be doing this or you're going to miss the ball.
I see. Good. Okay, so lifting the head. Stay down on it so we don't lift.
And it's not just the head, it's like the whole body is moving.
Okay.
Which
so great.
I've been known to have
good.
problems with that.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, good. So it's not just keep the head down, it's stay down with it. That whole phrase. Stay down with it, don't lift. Right, all of that.
Yeah.
All the above. Okay, great.
In fact, in high school, the coach would have us with the sun behind us so we could watch our shadow, whether we were coming up or down.
I see.
And I mean, when
Okay.
you have problems with topping the ball or things like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you that's what I needed to hear. Okay, great. So now let's help you with all that. Okay. So this is why it's really important. This is why we never fix the body with the body. Okay, so topping the ball, looking at the shadow, and it is true, right? Like if you were to take a picture in Golf Digest, you've seen those sequences, right? At the end of the magazine.
Yeah.
And they get to here, and they're all like that. Okay, well, so we're making this double pendulum swing. We're creating so much speed. The club head is swinging. It's going to swing right past your face. So if I were to take a photo of you, me, or anybody else, it would look like we're keeping our head down. But we're not keeping our head down. We're moving the club so fast that the head doesn't have a chance to get to here yet. You see what I'm saying? And it's the act of swinging the club head that is ultimately responsible for pulling you here. So you're not trying to get to here. This is the reason I don't like talking about this one too much, because if I bring too much awareness to it, then the golfer is going to start to be like, well, I need to get to here. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm saying we just don't need to stay here.
Okay.
We want to, it's another let it go kind of thing. Let it go. Be curious about where the ball flies in the air is what I like to say. Now, how does all this relate to the topping? So, topping was also, we've already addressed topping in a roundabout way. Now that you're releasing the club head, I believe we talked about this too. We're restoring the radius of the golf swing to where it's going to contact the ball. When we were trepidatious about releasing the club, the radius never extends all the way back out. And so you're going to catch the top half of the ball this way. Then the worst thing that we could do in that case would be to fix it by staying down with it. That's going to just create other lack of power and other, then now you're trying to balance these things. And it creates a lot of challenges. So moral story is there's nothing new we really got to learn right now in the swing. I want you to keep going back into tension, keep exploring how you're going to be setting up. So you're good like this. Like you kind of intuitively did change your setup and you noticed that about yourself. That was all really good. Creating the double pendulum, creating speed, letting it go, and we just want to take the governor off and let the club pull us where we want to go. Because here's how it's one of the ways in which is creating the governor is if you're swinging this club really fast, but you're trying to stay down on it, that's going to put strain on your body somewhere up here. And so your subconscious is always doing lots and lots of things on your behalf to make sure that things are safe. That's what the subconscious does. And so it's going to be like, Sue, we cannot swing quite that fast while you're keeping your head down because this is going to put a lot of strain on our neck, our shoulders, all these things. You know? And if the importance is in staying down, because you said of topping, that's also creating a little bit of a fork of importance on still creating contact. Right? That's a message about how can I control the contact. So we need to keep moving the needle into this is going to fully relinquish. When you're able to let the club just pull you around to the target, you're going to have a lot more speed, and you're also going to be fully disengaged with the need to control the contact, which is going to put the contact into your autonomic nervous system rather than the conscious mind, which is where we want it to be.
What is it I naturally do in terms of head or whatever this topic is?
It's no action. It's just you said it pretty much. The way it seems that you probably communicate it to yourself, you'll tell me, is seems like you have an instinct of the old whatever the coach was saying to you in high school is still present in your thoughts.
Okay.
Stay down with it. You know, it's very common. Keep your head down. Stay down on it. Don't lift. You know, they're all kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you hear these all the time.
Okay.
Right? So that's you're acting. What you're doing is telling me that thought is present.
Okay.
So we don't need to fix your action. We need to change the beliefs around the importance of keeping your head down. And then once those beliefs really change, the action will go away.
Okay.
If we tried to fix the action, then we'd be disobeying club conscious. Okay, so now let's obey the rule of club conscious in this one. This one, we gotta be really particular about how we communicate this one because we are bringing awareness to a body part more so than the other ones, right? When we're keeping the club face straight, see, the awareness is still about the club.
It's all about
It's all about the club still, right? So when I talk about this one, I have to talk about the body, which is why I'm like, this is a dicey one, right? So because we can't just start moving our head towards the target. That is definitely not the case. It's
still about the club.
It's still about the club. So
okay.
What I think is you want to create so much speed in the hit that it should feel natural for the club to want to pull you here.
Okay.
And you should be kind of naturally curious. I hate using the word should, right? Like, as a golfer, it's natural to be curious about where the ball is going to fly. So I like you to act upon that curiosity and have the sense that you're swinging the club with so much speed that it needs to pull you there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And just so make a bunch of practice swings. Do not go right into the ball. Just kind of really explore this thing. When this one clicks, it really clicks, and it feels pretty natural. And once this one clicks, most golfers don't revert back afterwards. There you go. Yeah, and just feel how the energy of the club is pulling you to the target at the end. But you don't need to go there. Swing the club right past your face, and then let it pull you up. There you go. You could say, let the eyes go. Just let the eyes go. There you go. Good. Good. And as you're doing this, you need to be communicating subtle things to yourself like, I like this because it feels less pressure. It feels more free. It feels easier to do. There's less to be concerned with. There you go. Okay, stop right there. Let me give you a little bit of a destination point. Griffin club. Okay, so let's just go over the shaft here. As this thing is coming through, you feel about right here. If I were to keep moving this club, you're going to have to start moving with it, or we're going to run out of room. So now, as I move the club up with you, just feel how it's unwinding you around to here. And that's why you see the golfers with their right foot come up and all this stuff. You just kind of, the club's going to pull you up into there. So that's why you get all those positions. It's because you just put speed in the club and it's just pulling you there. So the end of this club, you keep holding on to it. The end of this club is back up here around your shoulder. Right? Yeah. And so just as you put speed into it, let it unwind you up there. But you got to make the club get there first, and just let it unwind you. It's totally cool to go with it. There you go. Good. 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 And to be honest, whether you get into the finished position where you actually do end up is totally not important, to be quite honest. As long as you lose the inclination to stay down with it.
My governor.
As long as we lose the governor, you're good.
Yeah.
So we may already be there. It's you're doing pretty good. Nice. Perfect. Good. And you might just feel might not feel a whole lot different, but you might just feel like there's one less thing to worry about in the swing. Nice. Good. Good. Go ahead and hit a couple. Go back into your same script. Double pendulum, whack it from the top, let it go, and just try to swing with one less thing to worry about as you do that. That's all right.
That was ugly.
That's okay. Don't fix that shot. Just repeat the whole deal again. Run the play a couple times. Good. Good. And what I want you to do is, as you do this, try to notice if there's any inclination when you go to the ball to stay down with it. And then go away from the ball and just move the club and try to kind of coax yourself out of staying down. Go make a practice swing, and just kind of make a double pendulum motion with your hands and your arms, and just try to let it all. You feel that? You feel that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
just see if you can lightly release it. Don't. It's not a forceful release. Just be like, what would it be like to what would it be like to look?
To not stop. Yeah.
Yeah, to go look at the blue sky in Italy. Whack the ball and then get a little blue in your eyes. There you go. See that? And it's a pretty natural thing to do. Do that again. Whack it and get a little blue in the eyes. Perfect. Perfect.
Could break your leg.
They're unbreakable.
Good
They're unbreakable.
thing. Okay. Yikes.
Good. Good. Make a practice swing. Really create a big double pendulum. Go swing for speed. Swing for speed. So the speed has to incentivize the head to lift. So now that you, really fling the club head. Fling the club head through, and that's what's going to do this for you. More speed, more letting it go, more turning it over. Like that. You feel how that's when you catch the speed, that's where it's not going to make sense to stay down anymore. There you go. That's the kind of energy I want you to bring to the golf ball. Perfect. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Good deal. What's that?
Nothing over here.
Oh, they're just hitting the screen and bouncing over there.
Yeah.
But I mean, look. I mean, they're not. I mean, you're not way to the right. Your club face was
Okay.
only 2 degrees open.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was I doing that was causing my driver to go so high?
Thank you for reminding me of that. Let's switch one more time for that. And so this is what all golfers have to do. Now that Google just released their new Deep Research Max agents, I might have a go run me a nice report on this, my theory, so I can stop calling it a theory. I've seen this. I've never seen this not to be true, so I'm inclined to think that there's something going on here.
Okay.
So, well, a couple of things we know are true about this. So the driver's a big old club. It's bigger, literally bigger than your other clubs. Okay, so it's not unreasonable to think that there's a connotation between a bigger object and now we got to exert the body more for the power. That could be one of the possibilities. Okay, either way, let me answer your question. This is what's happening. Okay, the club's getting out of sequence. Instead of the club leading, we're in some form or fashion. I did what I just did, but it could be any form or fashion. Any way in which you could start to try to lever this club with your body, your big muscles,
Okay.
instead of the whipping speed with the driver, which is still what's required. That's going to pull the swing out of sequence. So now watch this. So if I got to the top and I said, if I didn't have the belief that this little whippy weed whacker thing was enough for the driver,
Mhm.
which it seems like, man, this club is bigger, this club is a little heavier. Yours actually is, but also the head is less aerodynamic. Okay, so it's easy to believe, whether consciously or subconsciously, that weed whacker motion ain't gonna get the job done anymore. It is. We gotta re-educate ourselves on that. So say we lost that belief, and then we're like, okay, I know Miles said power doesn't come from the body, but this must be different.
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
now when this club comes down, it's coming down steep. Steep,
Mhm.
just meaning, literally a steep slope. Whereas if we're at the top and we release the golf club, we release the angle, look how it sweeps. It sweeps naturally. If we get the body ahead of the club in any way,
Mhm.
so I showed this pendulum demonstration.
Mhm.
If I got the thing swinging, I'll do it this way. If I get the thing swinging, and I get my body ahead of it, it actually hits back and steep. So that can be part of when you hit the ball, you chunk one, or you catch it steep. In the case of the driver, the ball's on a tee.
Mhm.
So when the driver's coming down, it's actually coming down steep, and then you catch it off the top of the club. And that's why it pops up in the air. You don't have enough loft to launch it that high. It wouldn't go straight up in the air. You could eventually launch it high, but not this way.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what's happening. You're
I
getting
mean,
it
I
too
was
steep.
still
And
getting decent distance, but it was just
It was-
going a mile high.
it was a bit of a pop-up.
No, it wasn't.
It was not
it
a
wasn't-
pop-up.
It wasn't popping up. No.
It was not popping
No.
up.
No.
Was it going straight?
Sometimes.
Off to the right sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes to the left. I mean, and I would feel like I really pulled it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit a couple drivers. Okay. Let's hit a couple phone drivers. We'll just too high. Every time I see my dream broadcast studio setup, if I said that T was too high, I'd be broadcasting the lesson, and then the song, I think it's on Intervisions by Stevie Wonder, it's just his song called Too High, and that would come on this way. Okay, that T is decent.
Okay.
Decent. I don't know if it's gonna pick up, but don't worry about that. Just make a swing for me. See what's going on. Good. There you go. Yes, good job. Awesome. Good. Really good. That's a nice swing. If you swing it like that, you're good to go with the driver. You're going to be just fine. Nice. Okay. That was all
I
right.
think we lost that one.
We might have. I came back over here.
Let's see if it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
Here's one.
Way in the corner.
Yeah, I got it. All right, cool. Okay. That's actually a good sign when the tee comes flinging back like that. That was good. Okay. That drive was fine. Woo! Okay. What's up? That was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, you piped that thing down the middle. That was great.
Wasn't very far.
Well, it's a fun ball.
Oh, true,
Um,
true.
yeah, that would have gone further with a
Okay.
regular ball. But that was a good. You felt the hit was pretty good on it, and it launched nice and straight. That was a good drive. I mean, that was all right.
I almost missed the whole thing.
So let's switch for just 1 second. You're gonna go back to the driver, but let's this is just some little more. Actually, no. I want you to hold on with that. Put this down here. Okay. So just stay standing because you're gonna come right back up here. This is not like a whole deal. Were you in solo school? No. What did you just do? It's okay. It's here.
Yeah.
I just like the book. So, okay. So you know all this. The script. I don't think we need to go changing it. I kind of like it right now, unless you feel otherwise, or if you want to creatively iterate it, as long as you're still in the gist of what we're doing, that's totally cool. Okay. It just doesn't need to get. I like a big picture. I think big picture is going good for you. And you can wrap up everything we're saying within the context of the big picture. So, all I want you to do is now, because this is, well, the numbers changed on that one. So, when they are going just a little to the right, okay, say you're going out there and you're hitting the ball like you're doing now, but you're hitting the ball pretty good, pretty consistently. It's definitely moved quite a bit in the right direction. We're not, aside from the couple outliers we've gotten, we're not spraying the ball over the golf course today. We're hitting everything either straight or slightly to the right. We're either hitting it close to what our max distance is or slightly less than our max distance. Either way, it's good. You're going to have a much more enjoyable experience bringing this onto the golf course. Now, to just get that further, and this is kind of an action that we can use to tie everything in. All I'd like you to do is create a little more angle and just really see how I'm just kind of, what am I doing here? I don't know, striking with the club, snapping the club, just wham, right past you. It's going to help pull you around. It's going to help get the club face to square. It's going to give you more to let go of. It's going to give you more potential for speed. To see if you can, little more. That's back to the weed whacker a little bit too. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'd like you to swing the 9 iron a couple times.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh.
So create a little more angle, little more back to a little more double pendulum and a little more striking with the pendulum. You're gonna really feel the hands and arms create this. Yeah, a little, even more hit out of the hands and the arms. Like that. There you go. Good. Good. And that's gonna help the driver. Because when that's not present, the brain knows the driver's about power. The driver's not really about too much else. It's mostly about power. And so if you're not creating enough power with the hands and the arms, it's going to recruit from the body. Which is exactly what you said in the beginning. Nice. Create the angle and fling it. Like that. That's great. That's great. Yep. That's great. Okay. Go for it at this ball here. Create the angle and nice. That was teed up a little high. That was probably that was a little bit of a pop. That was good though. Broke it. Good. That's good. I mean, broke it. No, that's all right. That's a good thing. And, maybe I'll do that today. Wonder what the magic keys will be. This will be okay. All right, good swing though. Really good swing. There we go. That's pretty good. Is that the kind of hitting up in the air that you were getting?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't tell.
You can't tell? Okay.
Is
All right.
that pretty high?
A little bit. Part of it, I think, is the room. Honestly, if the room is not. It's obviously you're swinging driver here with no problem. That's why I have all the black on the walls. It makes the room feel bigger. But it's still with the driver until you get really comfortable. There's probably just a little squeeze, just a little feeling of that, you know. So when I go into driver mode, we should probably honestly move the mat. Let's go. But you're gonna go out on the range. Also, you know, I have a new student who's I've known him for a long time, but he's finally learning golf. I worked with him at Broadwood when I was there, and I just remember Broadwood got bought out, and everyone's not there anymore.
It's private, yeah.
So
Private. Yeah.
I may be able to go over there and work out an agreement to where I can bring some students out there sometimes in the range now. I couldn't do that before because I used to be contracted out there, and then they still have the same instructions.
Yeah.
So they want everyone they don't want anyone that's not under contract to teach out there.
Well, they don't let public at their driving range.
Exactly, it's totally private, right?
Yeah.
So I might be able to work something out.
But 218, you
218.
can go out there. $15.
Okay.
As many balls as you want.
Okay, so maybe before we go to Colorado, or we'll this is our last one.
Well, I don't know.
That's good swing, Sue.
I
Basically leave on Wednesday.
Of this week?
Yeah.
Really?
Because then I go to New Orleans. I'm back on Tuesday, the 11th. I mean, Monday, the 11th, and we leave on the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. If we can, if we could sneak another one in, that'd be awesome. If not, then we can conference, or but I honestly like this. You're doing good.
I'll be
Like
back in October.
you'll be back exactly. So then we can just pick it up in October. Good job, Sue. You feel that's a nice golf swing. So, talk me through with where you're at right now, because I like your swing. I think the best thing that what the heck was that? I think the best thing that we could do is just draw your awareness to what it is that's so good about what you're doing with this club right now, so that you can keep this kind of stuff going.
Yeah, is what, especially if I've had a bad shot.
Yeah.
What is it I
Come back to.
need to tell myself?
Right.
Club, the double pendulum, let it go.
There you go. Yep.
Tension.
Yeah. Let go of the tension. It's not too. You don't need to repeat the whole curriculum. Because the curriculum's in there. If I were to pop quiz you'd probably do great. If it was like somebody was like, Sue, what's the first thing that moves in a golf swing sequence? You'd say the club head, right? If you heard someone say, keep your eye on the ball, you'd be like, well, I know now it doesn't quite work like that. If you were on YouTube and someone said, power comes from the ground, you'd be like, possibly not. Nice. And that's great. Totally play golf like that. So as you're going, you play a lot of golf over the summer when you're up there. Did you play as much as you do here, at least once a week, kind of thing? Maybe
Probably not as much there.
not as much. Okay. All right. Good. So today was a great session. All of them have been good sessions, and we've. You're in a good spot with that swing to play golf with.
Do you have any more, like, you gave me the first book. Do you have, like, a second book that talks about, just the little pamphlet thing?
I don't yet.
Okay.
But so
Just
I'm filming.
Because looking at it can help
Correct.
remind me of.
So I'm filming the library product tomorrow. And maybe even the From Zero to Golfer course, which is what From Zero to Golfer course would be. Usually it's what we're doing. So eight is the number of transformation. So I don't have a lot more to show you besides we could apply this to the rhythm, and that would inform you a little bit more about your short game. We could take some of these concepts, we could apply them to putting, and we could spend a couple more sessions together integrating. It would be, based on what I see you doing, and this is true for almost everybody, it would be shocking if it took you more than 8 sessions total to really feel stabilized around everything that what we're trying to do. All the hurdles plucked out, and like you got the nuts and bolts of what it takes to golf together. There's my From Zero to Avid course, which is, I'm going to start showing people more things about shot making, and the Zero to Artist course, right? You can get into some other layers of artistry in golfing. From Zero to Golfer course about building the fundamentals.
Yeah, I just feel like I need reminders of the key key things that
Exactly. So
control me.
so as soon as I get this course launched, I will give it to you. Okay. And I got to figure out all the logistics of that. It may take another month for me to get that going. I have it all planned out. Is the good news, and it's not anything. It's not new material. It's what I'm teaching you, right? So it's not like I know what I got to do and deliver. But that's why I see my coursework, like say from Zero Golfer, I see it actually ideally in a hybrid model, because I think it would almost be better if the student got my lecture stuff at home, just watching me on a screen, and then they come to the lesson, and then they're like, Miles, I saw your videos.
Repetition.
And then they can repeat it, right?
Yeah.
And then they saw their with the videos when they're at home, just comfortable.
Right.
And then they come in, and then the sessions are just about the questions, the integration of it all. And then I could see a scenario in which we actually get there even faster. With less time and effort on both parts. Because when I'm explaining club head leading to you or somebody else, my timbre changes with the in-person experience. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. It depends on the person. So the delivery is subject to change, but the information is not ever changing, right? So that's kind of where. That's part of the reason why I needed to get into a studio, because I can't really produce these things at a driving range. It's like too much. You know about it. You're in the production world. So okay, but what should you think about? What I would do is, first of all, I would trust yourself that you have learned the fundamentals well, and you understand the concepts well. I believe that you do. Very well. I would let the details get wrapped up in the big picture. The big picture, I think, is what you're going to have more risk of losing sight of than the details. So the big picture is distance over accuracy. It's a double pendulum swing. It's all about the dang club. So I want you to create a double pendulum and and swing for the speed.
Okay.
And keep your mind in the club.
Okay.
And as you practice, I want you to keep becoming aware of when the hurdles become present. And then don't grind through the hurdles. Don't grind through the hurdles. It's grinding through the hurdles is Arnie. Nope. You got a great litter box, dude. Great. It's so good. Yes. So it's kind of like, it's psychology, with the hurdles. So, if I'm getting upset and someone says, Miles, calm down. You know how that story goes. Do you calm down? No, you don't. Not usually, right? So if you catch yourself holding the face straight and you get one of those, so here's the good news about all this. You're not going to develop new tendencies. So if you get some old patterns, some old results, it is not because a new tendency developed. It's just the old pattern reemerged.
True.
Okay? So so you already know the answers to it all. Right? All you're going to have to do is go back through and be like, okay, how did we work this out in the lessons that we had? Because we did always work it out. And then every time it reemerges, it's a chance for you to work it out on your own and be the coach. Yeah.
Okay. What was the weed whacker?
Just like that. The only detail I would encourage you about that is I want the left hand clamping on the club. Don't. A lot of golfers do that. There you go. Keep this point of contact. That point of contact.
Okay.
The whole time in your golf swing. There you go. And it's going to force you to use the wrist joint Yeah, there you go. And you can practice hitting balls with the weed whacker. You can practice hitting balls with the feet touching container. Have we done that? We haven't? Oh, shoot. Okay. Make full swings with the feet touching. Feel how that forces you to move the golf club. Whack it with the feet touching. They all spell pendulum swing. There you go.
Oh, and
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
forced myself.
So this is another good container. You can hit balls with the feet touching. Feel how that forces the club to let go, and now the body's disempowered, so you have to swing the club. You're actually going to hit the ball pretty nice and straight this way with the feet touching. It's going to actually amplify your confidence. Fire from the top. Fire from the top and let it go. Create the angle, hit it from the top and let it go. Perfect. And just really keep scripting. There you go. Now, yeah, just translate that feeling into a normal width stance.
It's like I need to have something to go back to not focus on what I'm doing wrong, but what is it I'm supposed to be doing.
Correct. So my only advice to you here, or word of wisdom, is when you go to the weed whacker or the feet together,
Mhm.
those are containers, not drills. Okay, so a container is a space in which you can practice the thought
Okay.
and get feedback. So don't make it about the action. If
Okay.
it becomes about the action, that will work temporarily. But if it's about the thought and the concept that creates the action,
Okay.
that's where you're going to get a lot more consistency day to day.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong with going to noticing the action
Yeah.
and to involving yourself in the action, but know why you're doing it.
Right. Right. No, I understand that what you're saying, what the difference is.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's easy to fall into it.
It is, right?
Okay.
Good job.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good, Sue. You're good. You made a crap ton of progress in these 3 sessions. You've been golfing for a long time, right? And you play a lot of golf, right?
So I got a lot built in.
so that's why, as you're doing this, the more conceptual you can actually be, and the more disciplined you are about staying big picture with this whole thing, and just keeping your awareness open around this, and the less pressure you actually put upon yourself to improve out on the golf course, and just use the golf course as a way as almost another container to explore these things again. If you can treat it that way, you'll actually you cross the bridge faster. I've learned this way later into my golfing career. That's why, I love going out on the golf course and putting myself in positions where I'm forced to not score. Like going out and not even completing 9 holes. If I go out there and I play 7 holes, what the hell am I adding up a score for? I ain't going to count anyway. See what I mean? Or I go out there and I play, on days where I'm just really not feeling good or something, right? I know I'm not going to play good that day, So I'm just out there kicking it around, or I'm playing golf in a non-serious environment with a bunch of guys that aren't very good at golf. You play golf around that, or it's a playing lesson. Okay, it's that's distracting to me. I'm not going to play my best golf doing that, but that's great because say I'm working on something, now I have freedom to make bad shots, to do whatever I want to do on the golf course and extract that experience and that learning so that when I do go try to play a good round or shoot for a score, play a tournament, I've created that, Whereas back in the day, anytime I teed up the ball, it was like, come on, Miles, you know, you didn't make a birdie?
Yeah.
Perform, right? So, so I've gotten a lot better with way less effort as I've learned these things. Okay. So I advise that. You know, it'd be great to say I don't know, you know, if you have access to the course and it's nearby, like, love doing things like you go hit the range, you hit a medium bucket, a small bucket. You ask the guy like, hey, look, I noticed the first tee's wide open. Can I go rip 3 holes? You know, you hop in the cart, you play 3 holes in the evening. You know, you come back, you hit a couple good ones, you hit a couple weird ones, you practice the concept, you come home, you're not stressed because you only played 3 holes, and you think about it, you ponder, you're like, oh yeah. Wow, I really let that tee shot go on 2, and that's when I hit it great. And then on 3, that was a dicey par 3, and I didn't like the way that pin was placed, and that caused me to hold on to it. And that's when I made the double bogey. You see what I mean? And then that's when you start to really take it to the course, when you collect those experiences. I'm just painting different pictures for you of what that looks like, you know. But take advantage of the resource, because it sounds like you're up there and you might have opportunities to create those types of experiences.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know. That's why I'm always like, man, I can't wait to have a private club membership. It's way easier. Okay, well, I still owe you 2 more lessons, and then we'll probably just try to complete the whole conscious policy and then go back